Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going deep on a book you might not expect.
Oh,
Philemon.
really? Philemon, huh?
Yep, the whole thing. It's a letter, right, from Paul. But don't let the size fool you. This one's got layers. Like, seriously, it's a window right into what early Christians were dealing with. Relationships, forgiveness, and that whole slavery thing. Tricky stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Philemon's personal letter, but it hits on some big issues, especially for the Roman world back there.
Okay, so backdrop first.
Well,
We've got Paul writing from prison,
right, in Rome.
and he's writing to this guy, Philemon. Seems like a well-off Christian, maybe even led a church.
Could be, yeah.
But then there's this third person, Onesimus. Philemon's slave, actually, but he ran away. What's the deal with him?
Well, the name itself, Onesimus, it means useful in Greek.
Interesting.
But Paul first calls him useless to Philemon, kind of ironic, huh? Then later he's useful to both of them. So something big must change while he was with Paul.
Makes you think, was that him becoming Christian? Paul calls him, like, my child, almost. Like a spiritual son thing.
You got it. Sounds like Onesimus found faith while on the run. And now Paul's sending him back to Philemon. Not just a runaway anymore, but a brother in Christ.
Whoa, imagine that reunion. Talk about awkward. Must have been nerve-wracking for Onesimus.
Oh, for sure. And think about it. Paul's missing with Roman society big time here. Slaves, they were property, not people with rights. But Paul flips that. Onesimus has got to be accepted as an equal, a beloved brother, he says.
And he doesn't just order Philemon around, does he? It's all, like, I'd rather ask you out of love kind of stuff.
Right. It's all about their faith, their friendship. Even calls Philemon his partner in ministry. Really shows how much respect Paul had for Philemon making his own choice. The right one, hopefully.
It's clever, really. Paul's using persuasion for huge social change, all in one letter.
It's that tension between the personal and the bigger picture, you know? Two friends working something out, but it raises questions about justice, forgiveness, how Christian love changes everything, even society.
Like, this letter's a mirror to the whole Roman world. Makes them and us face some tough truths about power, prejudice, what it really means to follow Jesus.
Absolutely. And this is just the start. We haven't even gotten to Paul offering to pay Onesimus's debts or wanting Philemon's heart refreshed. That adds even more to think about.
And it's killing me we don't know what Philemon did.
Right. Did he listen to Paul, take Onesimus back? Or was it like, nope, not happening?
Centuries people have been arguing about this. You'd think some other letter would have turned up by now.
Maybe that's the point, though, you know? We're stuck like Philemon was. What would we do?
Seriously. Could anyone put aside how things were and treat a former slave as a brother? Tough stuff.
It really makes you examine how we treat anyone different from us. Someone who messed up, even. Forgiveness, that's hard.
And Paul doesn't just stop at asking. He says he'll pay any debts Onesimus has.
Oh, yeah, that's important. Real love, taking responsibility. Not just words.
It costs something to follow Jesus, huh? Not just the good vibes, but real action, maybe even your wallet taking a hit.
And then there's that refresh Philemon's heart bit that's deeper than just feeling better.
Oh, for sure.
Paul's asking for a total change, to accept Onesimus fully, like it transforms Philemon himself, what being Christian really means.
Okay, but how's that work for us NW? No more slavery, thank goodness, but we got our own problems.
Yeah.
Prejudice, inequality,
Yeah.
relationships that are busted.
Oh, absolutely. It's different details, but the heart of it's the same. Philemon's like, look past the labels, everyone deserves respect. Forgiveness, building stuff back up, that's what matters.
It's crazy. This old letter is like it was written for us.
It is, isn't it? Love your neighbor, forgive, fight for what's right. It's not optional, it's core Christian stuff.
And we don't know the ending. Makes you decide what you do.
Exactly. Paul's kind of saying, all right, I've shown you, now it's your turn, what's your move?
Pretty heavy stuff to end on, huh?
Yeah.
No easy answers, just things to think about and then actually do something.
Maybe that's the whole point of Philemon. Not just a story, but an invitation to live differently, love bigger, forgive more, and never stop fighting for a better world. Like Paul wanted for Onesimus. You know, it's funny, with Philemon, what gets me is how Paul's like, do this for love, but then he's also super practical about it.
Oh, yeah. It's not just a feeling, right? It's
Right.
I'm paying whatever Onesimus owes. Putting his money where his mouth is, for real.
Exactly. Like, what you believe changes what you do owe. Paul's faith isn't just ideas, it affects his friends, his money, everything.
Makes you think, are we living our faith that seriously?
Tough question, right?
Yeah.
We don't have slaves to deal with, but we got our own mess. Prejudice, broken stuff. How do we fix that? Like, actually de-owe something, like Paul.
It's wild how this old letter hits home. It's like, love your neighbor, forgive, fight for what's right. Not just good ideas, but like the thing to do if you're a Christian.
And we're still left hanging. Don't know if Philemon even did it.
Right. Adds to the whole, what would I do?
Like, Paul's passing the buck. Here's the story. Now you figure it out. Live it.
Wow. That's a lot to take away from one little letter.
But maybe that's the best part. No easy answers, just makes you think and then go do something about it.
Well, folks, that's our deep dive into Philemon for you. Hope it sparks some thoughts, maybe even some questions you'll keep chewing on.
Yeah, and don't stop here. Read it again. Talk about it. What does Philemon mean for you? How do you live it out? That's what matters.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Keep on learning and keep on diving.